Hey guys, and welcome to my post UFC 110 video where I'll be going through the results and reviewing everything that happened at UFC 110 last Sunday, which was last night. And it was quite the event, so let's get right to it. Alright. Here I am at shitterdog.com. Okay. Alright, let's go from the bottom. Mirko Cro Cop defeated Anthony Perosh, as you can see in this picture here. Cro Cop winning with a vicious ground and pound. He was able to bust up Perosh with some fists and also a vicious, really fast elbow across the forehead. Cut him just above the eyebrow, cut him really bad. They had to stop the fight, I believe, in the second or maybe it was the third round. But they had to stop the fight because the cut was so bad on Perosh. The doctors called it and said, no, we can't continue. But before that, when Perosh was cut so bad, he was bleeding profusely all over his face. Really a mess. And the referee, Herb Dean, asked him, he says, do you want to continue? Can you see the fight? And Perosh basically told him, yeah, I want to keep going. So after Cro Cop won the match via doctor stoppage, Joe Silva asked Cro Cop, he said, were you surprised that Perosh decided to continue after a vicious cut like that? And Cro Cop told him, he said, yeah, I was very surprised. So still, even though Perosh lost the fight, he showed a lot of toughness, a lot of endurance, and Cro Cop gets back on the winning track, even though he had a lesser opponent. He was scheduled to face Ben Rothwell, who pulled out of the fight. On short notice, they replaced Rothwell with Perosh. Doesn't say why Rothwell pulled out of the fight, but Ben Rothwell versus Cro Cop would have been a more entertaining, more exciting fight that has more emphasis, more significance to it. But unfortunately, we got Cro Cop versus Perosh. Who knows? Maybe we'll see a rescheduling of Cro Cop versus Rothwell in the future. All right, next fight. Ryan Bader, the winner of The Ultimate Fighter Season 8, still undefeated. He was able to beat Keith Jardine. He used his excellent wrestling skills, out-wrestled Jardine, and pretty much, I think, outdid Jardine in striking, outperformed. What does it say here? Oh, yeah. Bader entered a competitive bout 2:10 into round 3 when he walled Jardine with a straight hand. Okay, so what he did was he actually Jardine was kind of getting close to the back of the cage, and Bader was kind of in the middle, and Bader went after him with a flying knee, knocked him back a little, knocked him off guard. Bader went after him with a right hand that didn't quite connect, it hit I think the arm, and then a left, which hit him really well. A left hook hit Jardine right in the on the jaw, sent him down. Jardine went limp immediately, and the referee called it. So Bader gets the win via knockout. Very impressive by Bader. Bader in that fight, he looked stronger, possibly more aggressive, but Bader is still undefeated. Jardine still on a losing streak. I don't know how much longer they're going to keep Jardine around. He really needs to pull it together. But Bader has a bright future. Let's see. Okay. Hometown hero, Australia native George Soteropoulos, was able to defeat Joe Stevenson. Basically, Soteropoulos completely out-wrestled Stevenson, dominated him on the ground with his expert jiu-jitsu. He went for numerous attempts at submissions. He kept spinning around on Stevenson's back and just transitioning and getting him in all kinds of different holds. I think he had a triangle choke at one point, but he was able to finish him off with a submission. Soteropoulos looked great in this fight. And it was very entertaining. I believe it won fight of the night. Stevenson showed a lot of heart, but he just wasn't able to compete with Soteropoulos. So $50,000 bonus there for George. Congratulations. All right. Wanderlei Silva versus Michael Bisping. This fight was a complete stand-up match. I mean, it was just all about striking, really. Lots and lots of punches, as you would expect. These guys didn't like each other. That was clear. Going into the fight, that was very clear, and pretty much showed during the fight. Wanderlei was extremely aggressive. He wanted this win so bad, you could tell. But Bisping didn't step down. He did kind of respectfully defend himself from Silva. He didn't do anything too crazy. Mostly Silva was the aggressor, just doing some explosive charges, combination strikes, throwing everything at Bisping, big haymakers, hook shots, all kinds of stuff. None of it really was able to land that well. Silva got a few jabs in. Bisping got a few jabs. No major shots, but a lot of good striking by both guys. But Silva won the fight, I'd say, unanimously. Even if I had to decide or if somebody else had to decide, I think they would have given it to Silva unanimously because he was the aggressor. He did. At one point, he had Bisping put in a guillotine. I think that was the end of the second round. And if the round had not ended, Bisping most likely would have had to have submitted or given up at that point. But apparently, Silva was doing the guillotine wrong. He was leaning backwards for some reason instead of forwards like Joe Rogan was pointing out. I'm not too sure about that. It seemed like leaning backwards is the more logical, more reasonable thing to do to put pressure on the spine. But anyway, great performance by Silva. I'm glad he got a win. Although Wanderlei Silva winning kind of puts a setback in the middleweight title picture because Silva is he doesn't want to fight for the title. He doesn't want to fight Anderson because, well, they're training partners and friends. So my question is, if you're a professional fighter and you're competing at middleweight, what in the world are you doing competing professionally in a weight division where you refused to take on the champion, where you refuse to compete against the champion just because he's your friend? I mean, you're a professional fighter. This is what you do. You got to pull it together and go for the title shot. I mean, you have no business competing in that division if you're not going to go after the champion. So I just hope Wanderlei Silva gets it together. And Michael Bisping, he didn't do too bad. On a better night, he could have won. Bisping, I don't know. They both want to fight Akiyama, but it'll be more interesting to see Wanderlei Silva go up against Akiyama. I'm looking forward to that. All right. Okay, that just leaves us with the main event here, which was Nogueira versus Cain Velasquez. And, boy, I really ate my words on this one. Everything I predicted was almost the opposite. I said that Velasquez needs to work on his boxing. Well, his boxing is very proficient. He looked professional. He looked excellent with those shots. Just really good technical striking. I thought that Nogueira had the advantage when it came to technical striking, but Velasquez is just lightning quick, great angles, great footwork, and man, he was all over Nogueira. He gave him some powerful leg shots too. Velasquez looks awesome. I mean, fast, powerful, technical, excellent wrestler. He didn't have to use his wrestling skills in this, but he has them, no doubt. Really, he didn't get tested that much, but he just wiped out Nogueira. Nobody could see that coming. That was awesome. I say Cain Velasquez deserves the automatic title shot. Put him first in line to go up against Lesnar. That performance was so over the top. He deserves it more than anybody. I don't think anybody else on the roster could have eliminated Nogueira as fast as he did. That was exceptional. You know, he might not have the skill set that's best to go up against Lesnar, but his skills are still very, very phenomenal. And I'd say the only other guy in the heavyweight division I'd compare him to right now is Dos Santos. Both these guys are just about equal. And as for me, I think that they should be ranked at the top of the division, the very top. So I look forward to seeing Velasquez taking on